Hello, my beautiful soul family. Welcome to the Mystical Hummingbird again. Happy 225. I am excited to be here with you again. I can't believe that we already lost a year, and now we're in a total brand new year, and I think it flew like that, like the wind. I took many notes. I wanted to express the feelings that I have about something specific, because I have prayed about something specific a while back, and I asked Spirit to let me know what I should discuss today. And something really interesting happened. First of all, I'll tell you. Let me just read what I've written here in my notes. Okay. Well, I hope that everyone has had a good, fun time. And I know New Year's, it's a fun time, and the holidays and Christmas, with family and everything. People, they fly, in from places, and we have gatherings. And mine was pretty chilled. The 24th, I spent it with one of my oldest and her family, and then on the 25th I spent it by myself with my little patient that I take care of, and we spent some of the time with her family as well. Okay. Okay, I will tell you here. I've been pondering for some days before today what I should bring to the plate, and I did ask Spirit to guide me to share something that will impact your hearts the way it impacted mine, because all of my life experiences have brought me to where I'm at today. Sometimes it's difficult for me because there are so many things that I've experienced that like I can tell you something with water, something with earth, something with a hospital, something with the cars, tons of things. But when I asked God this time, this is right after the New Year's, I went for a long walk close by here. Nature for me is very soothing and comforting. So as I observed her, I thought, I am part of all of this, as you are. And I deeply feel that in the silence and sounds of nature, and between these hollow, empty spaces within Mother Nature, lingers a deeper silence which holds her wisdom, her language, and in these pockets of silence there are hidden gems waiting to be tapped into. Okay, I must tell you, my soul family, there's a universal symphony playing very loud to awaken us, the entire humanity, to bring us to the best version of ourselves. But we need to heed this call of the soul resonating through Mother Nature. We are one with her. She is our mother, which cradles us and nurtures us, and we are privileged to be alive because we breathe her air and eat of her foods that she provides abundantly for all of humanity. Her natural resources, her rhythms and cycles within her seasons are sacred. We are allowed to walk upon her, and this, in my eyes, is a gift, a privilege. For that mere fact, we should honor her and favor her and do everything in our power to reciprocate the unconditional love that she extends to us, the human race. I've never understood how mankind buys her lands. We are her guest, and the land belongs to her. going to be kind of lengthy because many thoughts came to my mind. This planet called Earth, I call her Pachamama, my Pachamama, because I am from South America. The earth is called there by the natives, the indigenous people. They have this special name, Pachamama. In other places, they call her Gaia. She is one of the most important, if not the only thing we as people, as a planet, should join our minds and our hearts for the healing and to address all of her environmental challenges. Climate change, for example, and biodiversity loss. I think of all that she provides for us and to watch her lands be exploited, burned to the ground in many places. Not only that, her children, we the people that walk upon her, many have no consideration, have no compassion, have no love for the ground that she allows for us to walk upon. There's a frequency that emanates from Mother Earth called the Schumann frequency. I'm sure that you guys have heard about that. This electromagnetic resonance frequency of the Earth's ionosphere can impact mood and emotions. This gift, one of the thousands that she gives to us, may promote feelings of calmness, reduce stress, alleviate symptoms of anxiety, even depression. In other words, she heals us and continues to do so. And then I thought, and what do we as a collective group give to her or do for her? She, Mother Earth, if I begin to tell you what she gives to us daily, 24/7, 24/7, 375 days a year. She doesn't take a break. She doesn't. I would not be able to finish evoking the myriad of gifts so generously given to us by her. So I quieted myself and began thinking about the dreams, the beautiful dreams I've had with my Pachamama. And there are very many. And oh my goodness, so many. She is so beautiful. Her essence is absolutely breathtaking. I will share one of the dreams with her that I had many years ago. I was in a beautiful forest, many beautiful trees all around me. They were tall, and I was surrounded by all this beautiful forest. And there was a smell, like the smell of pines. When you go into the woods and somebody chops a tree down and you can smell the woodsy smell. They were very tall. There was a clearing and I was in the center. And I heard a voice come from the trees to look above. I did, and looked again in the sky. Many letters appeared. They were all pink and yellow and neon colors. They were so bright and so pretty, and were moving as if dancing. All of a sudden, the words began to form. Words. The first letter was dream, and as it came together, it enlarged itself as if by magic. When I continued to observe, I felt a warm feeling. Then I saw the next word develop, and the other word was imagination, and was inspired to voice out loud myself. So I said dream. And as I heard my voice speaking, it was amazing. It was amazing because I said the word dream. I felt the emotion that this word invoked from within me. Dream. So I asked Mother Earth, are the emotions within words? All words? And her reply was yes. Then she continues by saying, when from the womb of nothingness, earth, I was created from a mere divine love thought, and a thought like a seed was planted in the imaginary dream from God's mind. thus being the force of the creating power by speaking, creating a frequency of sound emanating from the Creator's bowels, mind, depths, which permeated throughout the darkness and void, created a universe. Within this universe, Earth appeared. Now, universe literally translates to one song, one verse, song, or poem. So God sang Mother Earth into being. I love that. Then I saw the word imagine, bright new yellow, neon yellow, with like sparkles all around as if with fireworks. And as I said the word imagine, I felt the vibration throughout my whole body, and I saw as if pebbles had been thrown in, and I saw the ripples all around me and symbols of ripples creating waves as if in an ocean, moving in a circular pattern. The impact grew larger and extended itself. You guys are going to love this. Extended itself outwardly, away from me, and I know what the emotion frequency this word imagination creates. And was told that I had the power to create whatever I desire in this garden of life. Then I woke up. So I needed to write it all down, for just as in my dream, I had hundreds of sentences and ideas that were floating in my mind, thoughts galore. But before I will share what followed after this dream, I had this dream in the year of 2010 and was working as a manager in a little convenience store. I don't know if you guys remember, but I told you that I left my job at the health department. So I worked as a manager in an apartment complex for a while. So I also had this little job. I didn't mention that to you guys. I worked in a convenience store for some hours in the morning. And this was this day was an early Monday morning, and I had just prepared the coffee. An elderly gentleman comes in and asks me for a cold beer and a gallon of milk. So I showed him where the refrigerators were at. So he continues to say, well, it's just that I really need the milk and the beer, and I don't have any money right now. And then I said, I'm sorry, sir. I cannot give it to you for free. I'm not the owner, just the manager, and this is not acceptable. I'm really sorry. Then I saw his face. He looked down as if thinking, and then he takes something from his pocket and he says to me, on the way here I found these. I don't know if they are worth anything. It was a small clump of dried mud, and I could see there were traces of silver as if it was like rings. I took them to the bathroom and began letting the water release the dry mud around it. I saw that they were 2 silver rings. To my amazement, each had a word. The top said dream, the bottom one imagine. I was shocked, to say the least, and knew immediately that it was from my father. I put them on and I have never taken them off. You guys can see it right there. Dream, imagine. Okay? This was so cool. So I never saw this man again, ever. He was a beautiful black elderly gentleman. I know he was a messenger from my father. And these words are very, very important. When I placed them on my finger, I saw the word imagine like this is in my mind's eye, and heard this: the way you feel creates your reality. And I remembered my dream with Mother Earth, and the thought came to my mind: the earth is round, and when a child is conceived within the womb of their mother, it's also round. And this fetus develops in darkness, complete darkness, and there is breath within. Inside this womb, this fetus is nurtured, grows, and develops, and after a 9-month process, well, a full-term pregnancy is normally about 40 weeks. This is not always the case, but traditionally it is. So after this process of evolution, to the light we are born. Thus are we, like unto a seed, nurtured within the darkness of Mother Earth. The seed dramatically grows within the darkness of Earth's soil. This mystery of life we each carry embedded deeply within our souls. Mother Nature teaches us that we are all connected one by one. I see the little seed and watch it transform itself into a majestic tree, surrounded by its flowers, then later its fruits. The tree's roots grow deeper inside into the soil, so it is the evolution of mankind, like unto a seed, every season continuing in her roll forward and on until one day, as a heart with its beat returns to whence it has come, back to the ground from whence she first emerged. The mystery continues as life unfolds. So I close my eyes and find myself amidst the labyrinth of life and think about creation. The way you feel creates your reality. Dream. Imagine. There is a place where in its most hollow of depths, where few inquire into and all is hidden, therein lies an unexplored fountain. Here abides a divine consciousness vibrating fully within its divine love living elements in silence. This being the heart portal to our higher consciousness, and where our Creator abides in unison, the word unison, with us. I find this interesting. I did research on the word unison. It has several meanings. One is that when everyone is singing the same exact note, unison. I think that's beautiful. It means they are in exactly the same register. Its identity, it's in a musical pitch, a harmonious agreement or union, the state of being so tuned or sounded, the writing, playing, or singing of parts in or musical passage at the same pitch or in octaves. In Latin, uni means one, meaning sound, son meaning sound. Then I think of universe. So everything that exists, all physical matter, including the stars, the planets, the galaxies, etc. in space, when broken down, united / one, verse is a single line of poetry, pretty much signifying the concept of everything existing as a single unified whole, like a single verse in a poem, everything as one. So within the portal of the heart abides quietly, whispering the mystical melodious sounds of living waters in an eternal dance. Thus I hear, awake, my heart, awake. And I say, be in this moment only. Remove yourselves from the past, the future. Be in this moment only. Look within. In the Lost Gospel of Thomas, Jesus once said, the kingdom of God is within you. This kingdom is described as an interior state of mind that can be entered into through gnosis. Gnosis being a Greek word meaning knowledge. Jesus also said this in the Bible is on Luke 17:21, the kingdom of God is within you. There are many explanations to this quote. Personally and from my own experience, I remember questioning the priest when I went to nun school, and the God that they presented me about I did not like. They taught about him the way that they thought he was, and it didn't make sense, and he was a conditional God. For I knew who God was. I did not accept that one. I was merely a child, but so inquisitive, and always in my mind I had the thought that the idea of a loving, benevolent being filled with an unconditional love for his children. And I have felt that all my life. All my life I have been seeking God. I have studied different religions. I have been a member of different religions. And like I said before, I will not speak ill of any of them, because I am a very respectful person and everyone is entitled to their belief. I had many questions when I was in all the different religions. I did, and the questions were not, I didn't have answers for my questions. And I understand, for me now, this is my path, and the relationship that I have with the Creator. If I have a question about something, I ask Him and I receive answers. Sometimes I get the answers immediately like this. Other times it takes time, and my answers are through different avenues. They can be through books, they can be, I'm watching a program on TV and I've asked them a question the day before, and then just so happens someone is speaking about the exact same thing that I've asked him about, and there it is. Or like I said, like in a book, I'll never forget, many years ago, I was looking for this little blue book. Her name was Connie Mendez. She is a teacher from South America, I believe from Venezuela, or maybe Europe. No, I think it was from Venezuela. But anyway, she taught metaphysics, and I didn't know really what metaphysics was, and I wanted to know. I wanted to learn. And for me, because I speak different languages, many times I like to read books both in English and in Spanish. And I get more out of the book because the language is more rich, I believe, in Spanish. There are more verbs and adjectives, and there's more different ways of expressing. And so for me, I love doing that. If I get a chance to do that, because it's a lot of reading. But anyway, back to this little book here. And I don't have that here written in my notes, but I remember I went to the bookstore, to Barnes and Noble. And this, like I said, many years ago, and I was thinking, oh, I probably won't find anything like that. And the book was in Spanish and was called The Little Blue Book. And it was a book about metaphysics, about all the basic things and how the mind works and all that. This is like, I think, in the year 1999, 1997, around that. It's after when I came from Europe. It was right when I was going through the divorce. I started walking around, in the library, in the bookstore. And then I went to the section where they had books in Spanish. And then I noticed they had lots of different books. I said, nah, there's nothing there. And then my eyes went up to the top shelf, and there was a little, and I'm not kidding you, it was about this big, and it was a little blue book. And then I could read it, and it said something Mendez. I thought, could that be one? Could that be the one? And it was the only book at the store, and it was the little book that I was looking for, the metaphysics book. And so when I asked God, I said, Father, can you teach me? Can you tell me what metaphysics is about? What is metaphysics? And Saturday was a Saturday, and I went, and there was my answer. I think it's fun having a life with God, because God, He involves Himself with all of your personal things, and He knows everything about you. And sometimes I get embarrassed because I think, we have personal things, but God knows everything. Anyway, back to this. Okay, now I feel that it is vital for a person to know themselves. The ancient adage, know thyself, by the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, this is so important. This phrase calls us to self-reflection, to come to the understanding of who we truly are, to recognize our strengths, our weaknesses, our motivations to go on the journey of the self is a never-ending practice of self-discovery, continual, for we are evolving beings. I told you about the words dream and imagine, but if you do not know who you are truly, how can you imagine a dream, or even if it would ever materialize? Mother Earth teaches us daily lessons. I personally feel that the kingdom of God is within me, above me, below me, and all around me, all that is. But its source lies within the confinements of my heart, for my heart is the portal as well as yours. It's like a state of consciousness waiting to be reawakened. We have just forgotten to be who we truly are. Divine, powerful beings. Divine, powerful beings. I think of this new year 2025 and I imagine a garden of possibilities in my mind's eye. For I will always go back to the garden of my mind, for here I can plant to my heart's content. My seeds are my thoughts and ideas. I can cultivate them in good soil, this soil being the foundation and main source of my construction. This analogy compares my ideas, my thoughts to seeds that I choose to activate, plant, and cultivate. So by choosing what I focus on to nurture, I can grow beautiful, positive mental states that will create new neurons, pathways, which in turn will heal my mind, expand it, create it into healthy mental states. A gardener chooses what to plant, what to cultivate. But first we must clean the area chosen to plant, removing all unwanted weeds and waste. This removing all the negative and sabotaging thoughts. Our mind is a space where we can consciously choose to improve and foster positive growth, or we allow to feed the negativity and have opposite results. So I began thinking how I began making changes. They were gradual changes. They were baby steps for me. But I became self-aware, very much. So, and I believe that I've always have been self-aware since I was a tiny girl. But unconsciously, before. If you know what I mean, because you can be aware, but unconsciously, and you don't even know what you're doing. Self-perception was key and catalyst to my self-discovery. So I took responsibility for my life in a conscientious manner and began imagining the outcome. But I knew that I had to make a renewal of my mind. I became very attentive of my thoughts and feelings. I would ask myself, what do I perceive in another when I would judge, criticize, or critique and reject? Self-observation is key. Great wars are created from internal wars. So I continued daily taking baby steps, analyzing and working with myself to acquire peace. My internal peace was my first goal to self-love. I observed and decided whether this was proactive to my garden of life. So I got to choose, and I get to choose daily. When anger arose, and that was frequent with my life situation that back then, I looked at it, I faced it, I forgave. If needed, I cried. I cried a lot. Or screamed. I would drive myself to the mountain. I would open up the window of my car and I yelled. And I said, you know, I yelled and I let it out. I did then forgave myself afterwards. You know, it makes me think I went to a class. Okay, I'm laughing because it was in a way funny, but in another way it wasn't, because a lot of people were suffering. They were going through tumultuous times and depressing times, and this class you released. So here we are, I want to say maybe like 20 women all laying down on the ground, in the floor, in the grass, and out somewhere in nature with pillows and their blankets and everything. And then the teacher would tell us, or the guide, okay, and we were breathing in and out, and then we have to bring to our mind that there was a situation that we were going through that we needed to, express it and let it out, and then we would all start yelling and screaming. And first it was comical to me because I looked at all these people, everybody was screaming, and one lady really did. I mean, she went out of her way, and she was even started to cry. So then everybody came over and we all hugged her. And no, I'm telling you, emotions, we need to work with them. Otherwise, they fester and they stay within us, and we need to clear. It's like when we go number 2. Can you imagine if you can't go number 2? You'd be plugged. And sometimes that happens because people don't drink enough water, they don't have enough fiber, they don't eat enough fruits, and they don't have a healthy diet. That's why a lot of little kids are make little tiny pellets like that. So it's important to release and let go. Anyway, sorry, it just made me laugh when I remember that. Okay, so I did my best to not harbor feelings of resentment or hatred. Maintaining myself vibrating on a high frequency was done almost automatically, because when I came to the realization, now listen to this, when I came to the realization that it felt good to be happy, the feeling of peace was born from within me, and I acquired a stillness in my soul that permeated all of my surroundings. So it became apparent to me that this was part of my truth, and I began getting to know me, what made me tick, what made me think, the real authentic me. And the things that I liked, I kept. Like, you have a favorite dress, a favorite pair of pants or shoes, you keep them. And when it's time to let them go, let them go. But I keep the things that I love. So I became proactive in my mind's eye, becoming the overseer, independent woman, no longer the victim, and choosing to never again to accept crumbs. Crumbs are for the birds, okay? I'm no freaking bird. And to restore my dignity and my self-respect, thus began creating my very own garden of life. So since I had planted so many seeds the last 20-odd years that created new neural pathways in my brain that are being formed and are being strengthened through my resilience and daily self-love, I created new habits, have ingrained new possibilities in my mind's eye, and continue to believe that I walk by faith, not by sight. And I am grateful to the Creator with all of my soul, because He is the best part of me. He's the best part of my life. He is the joy of my soul. God, you guys, I'm His baby. Like, I'm this little girl. I'm not going to tell you my age. I'm sure you know I'm not a young chick anymore, but I have a young heart. And I like to play and be, have fun and all that. But when I'm in my private time, when I'm alone, my Father in me, He's my lion. When I was little, I have not shared this with you. I was abused when I was little by a family member, someone very close. And I know why we moved from Chile. God took us away from Chile. I was about, I think 10 years old when we left, 10 years young. And that never happened again. But I have to tell you, when I was very, very sad, because there was no one for me to talk about these things, I would go to my lion. I would go to my Father, and I would climb on this lion, and I would leave and go to the different galaxies, the different places, and my heart was healed. understand how this happens, is allowed in this world or in the worlds. I don't know of other worlds, but that should not be allowed. That should be eradicated, like now, this instant. For the innocence of a child is the essence of God himself, and it's the purity, it's the beauty that we are given. But when it's taken away from us, our lives are not the same. But I have to tell you, I know I am not different than anybody else. Everybody has gone through traumatic experiences, but I have to tell you, because my father walked with me, I used to write love letters to God when I was little. And I would climb my grandmother's house. I would climb the ladder and place these little love letters on top of the roof, thinking that little angels would come by and take them. And sure enough, some people said, oh yeah, the wind's going to blow them away or whatever. And I remember I was tiny and I was climbing this ladder, but I did. And I got up there and I left them, and then the next morning I would check and they were gone. So I knew God got my love letters. So, yes. Let's see where I was at, telling you about the habits and the new possibilities in my mind's eye. I walk by faith and not by sight. We are responsible for every thought. So why not tend our mind consciously like we tend the garden? Someone once said, your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. You decide. We can create anything imaginable. We can cultivate our dreams, our passions, our goals, ambitions that will help us succeed and become successful in life. Truly, anything that can grow in soil can grow in the mind as well. There are no limitations except those you impose. Take care of your mind. This involves your self-respect, your self-worth, your self-love. You and we are sacred vessels that hold the keys to the kingdom. Cultivate your curiosity, the child wonder in you, those being the seeds. Grow your knowledge of the self, rooted deep, this being the tree. Produce the new thoughts. Hold on. Produce the new thoughts. Which are the fruits of your labors? Each one of us is a rare, beautiful, complex, aesthetic being of infinite divine qualities. We are such intelligent beings and are co-creating all sorts of experiences for ourselves, some conscious, some unconsciously. Some wear masks to cover their true feelings, thus not honoring themselves. Some cause themselves to be entrapped in financial obligations, in passionless relationships that no longer serve them, and people settle. I ask, why? Why do such disservice to your soul? Why be stagnant like rotting water in a pond that does not move? It's smelly. Why live in empty vessels? Many stay in relationships because many times it's comfortable to stay and live the same rut day after day, wearing masks and not allowing our higher selves, our true selves, our authentic selves to be free and live in joy. There are internal fears, and many become master manipulators of our lives because we allow them. And we become afraid of what we might lose, whether it's money, whatever it may be. So we live colorless lives. Do you hear that? Colorless lives. And we just have, a smile like that to the world, and inside we're rotting, or we're not happy. Few think what they could gain if they made changes. Unfortunately, many lack courage. And that being said, self-love. The disservice we do is to our own sacred self. The drama, the chaos, begins to show itself in our demeanor, in our mental health, in our own lack of joy for life. Many times there are third-party situations that we become blind to. We close our eyes to the truth, and because of internal fears, and because we have given away our sovereignty due to the lack of self-love, we allow others to control our emotions, our lives, our financial state, and we do not dare to take a leap of faith towards our own freedom. A healthy state of mind is crucial, so very important for both our physical well-being and our spiritual growth. Changes can only occur when we decide that enough is enough, and by us taking a leap of faith for ourselves to create a better life, we then begin to give ourselves that much needed boost of self-love and confidence. We need to have a healthy mind to make correct decisions for our lives so we can have and live our most authentic, truthful, happy lives, which we deserve. We can then thrive by living our heart's truth. When we allow others to manipulate us, whether it be with sex, our emotions, money, and we do not listen to our intuition, we're just merely shortening the beautiful gift given to us by our Creator, which is life. Intuition is a gift that we all have, but if we do not use it and we ignore this God-given gift, we are throwing away our precious essence. We may be abused emotionally or physically or in other ways. This can be some of the scenarios we put ourselves through when we are wearing masks and we know our partners are also wearing them. We become oblivious. We ignore. We become codependent beings, unable to see truth. We simply ignore the reality of life we've created and have forgotten to listen to our hearts. I speak of my own experiences. I had many dreams. I have always had dreams that have given me awareness and warnings, but I heeded them not. My results were very painful, for life took me in a roller coaster which nearly took my life. And I tried, like I've told you before, I tried to commit suicide 3 times, and it was not a pretty picture. Yes, it almost cost my life. Sometimes we allow and give our partners the power over our finances, and we give and give and give, thinking that it's okay and things will change, but they don't. We are left depleted in all facets of life when we can become hesitant, in a state of stupor, and freeze our emotions and hide behind our mask, afraid of taking charge or a leap of faith to start a new life. I cannot stress enough about us being sacred beings, deserving to live truth and light above all things, for within us abides a divine being that sees us and feels all. If we are close to our Father and our inner child, our higher self, we are given the strength. If we ask for assistance and we can make the necessary changes, we can endure major changes, overcome all obstacles, for nothing is impossible for God. We will see a new life develop when we embrace ourselves, honor ourselves, respect, and most of all, love ourselves. It is difficult to admit, but we need to, for we live in an ego state of mind. This is paramount for us to be able to acknowledge to ourselves our own frailties and weaknesses, so we can detach from the old self and be able to dream and imagine a new life for ourselves. If you're wearing a mask, ask yourself, why? Why are you wearing a mask? And why allow your partner to wear one as well? Sometimes people can be very intellect. Now I'm thinking in Danish is coming in another language. Hold on a minute. Sometimes people can be very intellectual and have a way with words, but unfortunately, when it comes to emotional intelligence and stability, these people are childish and immature. But because they are wearing masks, we do not see it coming. These people can be very cutthroat and cruel behind their mask. Trust me, I know. This life introduced me to them, and they taught me well. They don't want for anyone to see their true nature for who they are, and then we feel stuck and stay thinking there's no way out. These people can have lots of bullying tactics to control, and they do when we allow them, and do not stand our ground and place boundaries nor end these vicious cycles. You guys, life is an art. Life, no one was born with a book, or like you need to make a when you make a recipe, you have the ingredients and you already know what to make. We don't come here to the earth with a book saying, okay, this is what you do. It's an art, because everything that you do, you should be so conscientious of your thoughts, of your feelings, of how you feel, how you affect others, because we affect everybody. We affect Mother Earth with our thoughts, with our feelings, with our joy, with our sadness. This is why jails are filled with people. This is why hospitals are filled with sick people. The sickness of the human kind, of humanity, it's deep within the soul. It's inside. It's embedded inside of us. We need to heal as a people. And when we heal, we can heal Mother Earth. Happiness is an art. Happiness is an art. The art of being happy is an art, you guys. You need to take steps to think, what makes me happy? What do I like? What makes you happy? Like, I can only speak with myself. I have many hobbies. I just lack time. I wish I had more time, but I love to paint. I am not a great artist. I love to paint nature. I love to paint flowers. I love to draw. And I love to cook. I'm a gourmet cook. I'm not okay. I'm not bragging here, but cooking, it was taught to me when I was a young girl. I had to cook. My mom taught me, and my dad taught me, so that I could. My mom and dad had to work, so because I was the oldest, I needed to prepare the meals. So I learned to cook when I was a very young girl, and I had to step on this little stool because I couldn't reach the pot to stir, So the things that make me happy, when I think, for example, the end of the year, when the year came to an end, I have rituals that I do like every year, special things that I do for myself, because things I've seen them in dreams, and things that make me happy. Like I've told you before, I love mangoes with drizzled the lime juice on top. I love chirimoyas. I love all kinds of tropical fruits, like the ones that people don't even think, oh, that's gross. No, I love pretty much all the fruits. And my house can never be without fruits. I have to have, like, I love apples with peanut butter. Oh my God. Apples, you peel them. I like to peel them. So you peel them, and then you and it has to be crunchy, okay? The other one is not. That one is nice, but I like the crunchy one. You guys, there's just so many things, like music, pets, people. Go visit an old lady in an old folks home that nobody's even looking at them or talking to them. Bake some cookies and take it to them, and go read a book to them. I used to visit this elderly gentleman. He was the sweetest man. He used to call me a good egg. He would pat me on the head and goes, "You're a good egg. You are a good egg. You come from a good chick." He would call me a good egg. It was so cute. cultivate the things that make you happy. All the things that are worthwhile in our lives are an art, and we must cultivate beauty and walk with ourselves with pride, and make that what we desire to be ours, and truly be dreamers in action. Dreamers in action is like your God in action, because you're baby gods. You are little tiny little baby gods walking around, and one day boom, and you're gonna be God. Let me tell you, we don't have very many. There's only that we know of. Christ is the only one that all his stories are from the hundreds and hundreds of years of the things that he did. There's not much of him. This is why I've been seeking information all over the place, and know that he's supposed to have gone to Tibet and also to India, and there are writings and books in Tibet about him. I like his teachings. I like his parables. I like his personality. I visit him in dreams. I have a relationship with Jesus. He's my homeboy. I always say that. Jesus, don't you go dishing out my homeboy. That's my homeboy. Anyway, we're dreamers in action in art forms. And imagine the life of your dreams. And I say it's time. And then there's this scripture in the Bible that I love. Be ye transformed by the renewal of your minds. Be ye transformed by the renewal of your minds. We can transform anything and everything. We are creators. I have to tell you, I am a type of a person, like, I'm trying to think of that book. Hold on. Dante, The Count of Monte Cristo. Love that book. Remember how he was such a good soul. He was an honorable being, and this is what I want to create for myself and my life, and have people see chivalry is not dead. Chivalry is not dead, you guys. We need to see this again. We need to have people go back and write love letters. And not just love letters, write letters to the people that you love. People don't even speak on the phone anymore. What the hell is that? Sometimes I'm like this. I don't even want to do that anymore. Texting, what's that? And then people say, oh, he ghosted me. What the fuck is ghosting? Who? I didn't even know what that was. I thought it was just like a ghost, I had no idea. I asked one of my kids, what does ghosting mean? And they said, Mom, aren't you like in? I said, no, I'm not in. I don't understand this language. I'm not old, mind you. I take that back. I am a very unique person, and I know I'm unique. I know that I am unique, and I know I have a mission in this world. God told me, and it's developing. It's gradually opening itself up. I'm really weird. I have weird ideas because I don't think like most people think, because I live in a magical world. I have magical things happen to me that I will be sitting here all night and all day and be talking and talking and talking, and you won't be able to stand me anymore. Back to this amazing thing about the chivalry. When we create something, the foundation, when you build a house, a building, or whatever, you have a foundation, concrete, right? And then these pillars they can be, what are they, metal, steel, to hold it in place. Okay, when I build my world, my garden, the foundation of my garden is God. God thoughts, love. The atom, when he showed me on that dream, that he cracked it in half, and in the center of the atom was this little, like a fine flame, that was the nucleus. And God told me, the nucleus of all things is love. Love is the nucleus of the atom. And he told me, don't worry about the numbers. I have to tell you, I love math. but I don't understand it. I used to cry myself to sleep because I couldn't understand it. I have dyslexia with numbers, not with writing or letters. And it made me really sad because I used to think, oh, you're dumb, you're stupid, But I know I don't use those words, but back then when I was in high school, I used to think that. So I know that one day I will be able to understand. God will expand my mind and I will be able to understand physics. I will be able to understand how numbers they work, because everything is created with numbers. I'm going to give you something that I normally don't share with anyone, but I'm going to just share it with you because this has helped me create me to where I'm at, or what I think. I'm a person that, not just because this was done to me, I could never do this to another human being. Even if I were to like someone, let's just put it out there. Let's say if there was someone that I liked really a lot, and that person liked me, and that person wanted to have a relationship with me, and that person was married or had a relationship, regardless if it was a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, someone that this person had a relationship, I would not consider it, not even 1 second, because I honor myself. Now, I have my codes of honor because it's important for us as human beings to have, what do we believe in? What do we believe in? What are we made out of? Because when we're stripped naked out of everything, when we don't even have clothing, we're just stark naked. Like, remember what happened in Germany, when those people, they were stripped away from everything. I read a book, I think I've mentioned to you before, I've read hundreds of books, but sometimes my mind, I forget things. He was a psychologist or a therapist of some kind, and he was in the concentration camps. This book was it made a big difference in my life when I read it. Oh my gosh, I can't remember it right now what it is. It'll come to me. But those people were naked. They were stripped out of everything. And some would take the place of someone to give them a couple of more hours of life, or gave them the last piece of bread. I believe that our honor is something that we create. That is something that is within us, that something that we choose, like you choose what to eat. I choose what to eat now. Before I didn't. I say, oh, whatever. And I have members in my family when I ask, what do you want to eat? I don't know. Well, what about? I don't know. No. You do know. You need to know. You need to make yourself important, even to your last. Even when it comes to your food. What kind of music do you want to listen to? Like, for example, I love all the cultures of the world, and there's some specific music that I adore, absolutely. But there's some specific music that I don't like. I'm not even going to mention it here because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But there's some music that I don't like. I don't care for it, so I don't listen to it. I want to surround myself with people that I feel comfortable with. I'd rather be a lone wolf the rest of my days than have to be around people that are negative. Oh, I don't want to be around this. Oh, life sucks. I hate people. This here, this, that. Look at yourself. You're breathing. For God's sake, you're breathing. You have a life. Your life is a gift. Take your life. Do something with it. These are my codes of honor. Number 1, there's 12 of them. There's actually 13. To my own self be true, that being God, for God and I are one. Number 2, that's also kind of like part of number 1, acknowledge my divine attributes at all times, 24/7. 3, love myself with my strengths, my weaknesses, unconditional love to me because I deserve it. 4, speak my heart's truth only. I only speak my heart's truth. We can have a little white lie. Oh, you don't want to hurt someone's feeling. Okay, I went to Target instead of saying I went to Walmart, whatever, But speak your heart's truth. 5, respect myself at all times. At all times. 6, treat others as I expect to be treated. It's a golden rule. You cannot treat others any less or treat yourself any less. Have a forgiving heart, first for myself, then for my brothers. Maintain my high vibrational happiness at all times. See my brothers as Father sees me, no judgment. That was number 9. Number 10, always go the extra mile. Go towards the light. Number 11, walk in faith, not by sight. I don't need to see things to know that they're coming or to know that they're there. I don't need to see God, for God is all for me. And He's here. He and she are here because I am part of that. Mother Earth is part of me as I am part of her. Honor myself. And I say that humbly, oh, I honor myself. Not like that. I honor that I am a being that's not taking space here. I was placed here with love, to find myself, to find my purpose in life. And number 13, I said walk in faith, but number 13 is faith. For without faith, to have faith, you take baby steps, and when you create a relationship with God, He teaches you, and then you start doing things, and then you start realizing, oh, I did that. Oh my gosh, I did that. Oh my gosh, I did that with God. I did that. So nothing's impossible. And nothing is impossible because we are co-creators with this amazing Creator. We are not just mere human beings. We are spiritual beings. You guys, we came in here into this vessel from another sphere. Many of us are from different galaxies. I know I'm a star child. I know that sounds a little bit out there, but I was told by Father. And since I was little, I knew that I was weird. I knew that I would sit and sometimes cry, and I asked my parents, are you my real parents? Was I adopted? I felt that I had been adopted when I was about 4 or 5 years old. Was I adopted? Are you my real mom and dad? And I remember even I got a spanking from my mom for asking that. And to this day, I thought, so wow. Of course, I let it go and all that, but just think. This is in our DNA. It is inside our soul. And I truly believe, how can I explain to you guys? I have been touched by the hand of God since I was so little. When I was broken, when my marriage broke, when I was told, I don't want you no more, I don't want this marriage anymore, I didn't know what to grasp. But I held on. I held on to God, and I've walked with Him since. And He has shown me who I am. And I do not doubt who I am. I'm not better than anyone else. We are all here. We all have special gifts. And I think the most important thing for us to live is to live a beautiful life that's fulfilling, that we are fulfilled and emotionally, physically, joyfully, in all the manners that you can imagine, because We are beings here we were created to have joy. I don't believe that we have to suffer so we can get and attain um, ascension or understanding of a higher consciousness, but it's ingrained in here. Why? Because we've forgotten that we are gods. We are gods in embryo, people. I'm not better than anyone else. I have many faults, but my heart is so full. I am so grateful. I love my Pachamama. I love what she does for me. I love to dance in her forest. I love to swim in her waters. I love to eat her fruits. I love to hug her trees. I love to speak to her. I speak to her often, all the time. She comes to me in dreams. And my next time that I talk to you guys, I will tell you one of the most beautiful dreams I had with her. Her thighs were trunks like a tree. She was absolutely beyond gorgeous. I've never seen anything like that. I wish, this is one thing I have asked God. I wish that I could take like a camera and take like film, or not film, tape or my dreams, so that I could bring them and then make them like in a little book, because my dreams are like movies. Not all, but when I have like dreams that are like a movie, they are very significant. They tell me stories. They tell me things. Like when I was pregnant with my first child, I knew it was going to be a little girl. And I remember being in this garden, and now these kids were playing, and this little girl with long dark hair came running to me, and she said, Moa, Mama, I'm coming to you, I'm coming to you. And then I smelled her. She had beautiful hair, and I called her Mini Vivi. Okay, my name is Viviana, and people call me Vivi. But in this dream, I called her, oh, you're my Mini Vivi, because she looked like me. When she was about 8 years old, I was in a children's activity in a park, and you know the sack races. And so here we are, I'm in a sack race, and I'm jumping, and then here comes my daughter. She comes running towards me, and she was saying, Mama, I'm coming, Mama, I'm coming. And then I had this deja vu moment, and when I hugged her, I almost started crying. I actually did cry, because it came true. The dream came true. She was hugging me, and I smelled her, and it was my dream came true. I've told you my dreams come true. Sometimes they come in instant, or in a couple of years. And there's so many that I'm excited that are going to come true too, that I'm looking forward to the future. This world's going to be beautiful. This world, our world, it's beautiful, you guys. Okay, I've spoken enough. I wish you all a beautiful 2025. Go inside yourselves and buy yourself a notebook, and then start writing things down, like what's important for me, what makes me tick, what do I want in a relationship, do I see myself doing this the rest of my life. You are intelligent, and if you don't have an education, you have a mind. You guys, I don't have an education, but I've done all kinds. I'm a Jane of all trades, and I still think that I was telling a friend of mine today, I know how to deliver babies. I worked at kind of like a doula, and I also worked, there's too many things that I can tell you, but I think in the future I might want to do that, become a midwife, not a doctor, but I think a midwife. But then again, I'm also a writer, and I want to have my books out to the world, and I want to learn how to play the guitar. I wish I had a beautiful voice so that I could sing for you, but I don't, so my voice is not, no. Okay, I'll let you go. Have a beautiful time, my beautiful soul family. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if you want to. I know I talk a lot, but this, if I can help you, if anything of this helped you to make your life better and happier, it makes me very happy. And I love you all, and I bless you. And see life with child wonder, okay? And look like my little ring. Dream, imagine, okay? I love you. Bye.